Today in number 13, let's investigate the skill of listening. Yes, I use the word skill because most people don't really listen intently to what the other person is saying because they're only thinking of what they're going to say next as soon as the other person is done talking. There are literally three things we need to listen for. Number one, what they are saying. Of course, this refers to the actual words they're using, which may or may not be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Number two, how they are saying it. This refers to the sincerity and emotion or lack thereof of their delivery. And number three, what they really mean. Lastly, the most important part of listening is to determine the meaning of their words. Since many prospects and customers will often tell us what they think we want to hear, it's important to have them explain what they say if we aren't sure. You could ask questions such as, "Can you explain that further?" Or, "What does that really mean?" Or, "What are you basing that on?" Or use my favorite of all time, which are the three magic words, "Tell me more." Whatever they say next to explain, justify, or enhance their original statement is normally a lot closer to the real truth. Next is an advanced skill, which is actually fairly easy to master and will pay you enormous dividends. You should listen for and use the other person's favorite words and phrases. The average person will use one or two of their favorite words or phrases every minute they're talking. Now, these will be words or phrases which we recognize, however, they aren't necessarily part of our everyday vocabulary. However, because the other person uses them, you should listen carefully, jot them down, and use them back in your conversation. You can use them next week, tomorrow, or as soon as the next sentence. 95% of the prospects or customers you use this technique with will have no idea what we're doing. All they know is that they're starting to feel extremely comfortable communicating with us because we're using their favorite words and phrases. Since we are on the subject of listening, here's something that might blow your mind. For those of you that do any business on the phone, please start using your left ear only, and here's why. The left ear goes to the right hemisphere of the brain, which is the emotional and creative part of the thinking process, while the right ear goes to the left hemisphere of our brain, which is the common sense and logical part of the thinking process. Since selling and negotiating are accomplished with emotion, if you start using only your left ear, you will see your sales improve dramatically. If you're using a stereo headset, take off the foam from the right side and put a piece of tape over the opening and close it off, and then put the foam back on. I've shown this simple technique to salespeople that were overwhelming prospects with common sense, logic, and rationale, and not closing many sales. And we've seen an increase of 20 to 200% when they start using their left ear and the emotional and creative part of their brain. If you learn and apply the skill of listening, you will achieve greatness in sales. As always, please complete the assignments in your workbook. This is Stan Ballou wishing you a fantastic future.